Welcome everyone to Doswell, Virginia for King's Dominion's opening weekend 2025. We have a ton of changes for this season that we're going to talk about, in addition to the brand new roller coaster, Rapterra, which we already featured in our Media Day video. Please go check that out.
Yeah, so this is actually a pretty special year. It's King's Dominion's 50th anniversary, and they've done a lot of stuff around the park. So like you said, Rapterra is brand new. We also have a few ride removals and some rethemes going on, as well as just like some of the smaller changes around the park. And we're going to try to show everything that we can.
One of my favorite places to eat in the park was Border Burritos, which was immediately to the left when you walk into King's Dominion here on I Street. It has been replaced with a permanent funnel cake location, which used to be on the other side of International Street. It was much smaller, always drew a huge line, and so what they've done is just kind of shifted some things around. So now, this is the funnel cake stand, which is great because it's one of the things you can grab right as you're exiting the park for the day. And the new place that you can get Mexican food is actually down in Candy Apple Grove. It replaced the old mac and cheese bar. So you can still get burritos and Mexican food in the park, but now it's in a different location. There used to be a drink stand right here. I can't remember if this is a new change for this year or if this was last year, but I miss having a drink refresh stand right here. I don't know what happened to it.
So the first ride removal that we're going to cover here is directly behind me. This used to be an Intamin looping starship called Berserker. Personally, I did not like this ride at all. I did it once. I hated it. I was like, all right, that's fine to see it go. The thing is, it is a small plot of land, so it's kind of like, can you put something else here, or is it going to just stay a patch of grass? Honestly, I kind of think it makes Dominator look nicer. Walking up to it, you can see the whole ride now with no obstruction. And speaking of Dominator, it actually just got a fresh repaint, and it looks beautiful. And they still kept the vertical loop yellow instead of orange, which I'm appreciative of.
And right here to the left of the Eiffel Tower is Pizza Parlor. Well, there's no sign telling you it's Pizza Parlor, but it is. It's currently under renovation, so I'm assuming it's going to reopen here in maybe a month or two, or a couple weeks, whatever. But hopefully it's a nice upgrade, whatever it may be that they're doing inside. All right, and over here on the right side of International Street, this was the former funnel cake stand. It is now Beer Garden. I actually don't know that it's open as of right now. This might be a work in progress coming later, but you can see they completely changed this whole setup here, so now there's a nice seating area. The thing that makes this interesting is this is also the entrance for Cornstalkers during Halloween Haunt, so I'm assuming that this is a pull-away wall that can then reveal the haunted house later in the year, but as of now, I mean, it does look pretty nice, so I would call it an upgrade. One more thing. This really does lean into the fact that this is called International Street with the Germany flags and going with that distinct stylization of the buildings. So I like that they're leaning into that a bit more. Also, it does come with a Coke refresh stand. So I guess that does replace the one that used to be at the front entrance. Now there's just a new one here. And with a big anniversary year comes all new merchandise. Look at this. KD50. That's actually pretty awesome. They also have it in bottle form, different t-shirts. This Spirit jersey is very out there. Here's a hat. That shirt's kind of fun. I actually kind of dig this one. The Eiffel Tower right in the middle, 50th anniversary. That's pretty good. This one's a bit classier, just with the logo there in the corner. And they also have one in white, along with it in hat form. And they are still selling 2024 merchandise. Leftover from last year, I guess. And we did show this off in our Rapterra video, but they do have all new Pantherian t-shirts, which is very nice to see because they haven't sold Intimidator 305 t-shirts in years. Probably have to do with the copyright. But yeah, you can get that alongside your Rapterra merch. Our next ride removals are going to be over in Planet Snoopy. So we're over here on the backside of Dominator. This was Joe Cool's driving school. Just a little kids like driving activity. You can see it's pretty much all still here. Obviously no vehicles, but you can see the roads that you'd be driving on. This plot of land, I've been saying, would be perfect for a Vekoma family boomerang. Because think about it. Most Planet Snoopies in the Cedar Fair parks have multiple roller coasters. King's Dominion only has two, with the little wooden coaster and the little kids coaster. A park like Kings Island has 4 in their Planet/Camp Snoopy area. So, put a little family boomerang here, it'd give Kings Dominion a ride that could go backwards. It'd be perfect.
Right behind me would be the third attraction closed in the park, and the second in Planet Snoopy, that'd be Peanuts Road Rally, which was a little little car ride. I'm not really sure why they got rid of it, but right now it's enclosed by this fence that's right behind me. I mean, I guess it's not really a ton of space, so I don't really know what they could do with it in the future, but for right now, it's just sitting there.
Rapterra is the star of the 2025 season here at King's Dominion. This is a B&M wing coaster that replaced Volcano the Blast coaster. That attraction closed in 2018, so here we are 7 years later. It is so refreshing to see a huge high thrill coaster here, and it has been a big hit with the public.
Absolutely. Actually, it's really fun. If you go through the queue, they have little Easter eggs for Volcano, so they're not like, you know, being like erasing its history. And part of the storyline of the ride is that it's sitting right near a former volcanic eruption site, aka Volcano the Blast coaster, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, they've really done a nice job with presentation. I've overall been really impressed with everything that they've been putting into the queue. The station looks like,
good.
Yeah, it looks like an excavation site, and the layout is very, very unique. This is only the second launched B&M wing coaster here in the United States after Thunderbird, so opening 10 years after that attraction. It's crazy that it took so long to get one. But today, we took our first ever back row ride on it. We got to do it several times during Media Day, but never in the back row.
Yeah, so if you want to hear more about our thoughts like from those rides, you can check out either the on-ride video from our first ride or from the vlog from Media Day. Like you said, that was our first time in the back row. I sat on the outside. There are some moments on there that do not feel correct.
It's mainly this S-bend right here as you switch to the left and then start your like panoramic turn over the pathway. There's some like serious jolts there. That's by far the worst moment on the attraction in terms of roughness. I would say the other main one is like on the decline of the dive loop.
Yeah.
You feel it there. But the other spots, you know, the launch was the part that everyone was talking like prior to the opening of this attraction saying that launch looks whack. But you know, we mentioned this in the Media Day one. The launch is fine. You really don't notice it.
No, it's really, here's the thing is like, you know, when you're talking about some of the other like newer B&Ms, when you're talking about it has like a rattle or a little bit of a bite to it, I would say that that's typically kind of like a side-to-side shake. For the wing coasters, and all of them really, even the ones that are glass smooth, there's no wing coaster that doesn't have at least a little bit of an up and down bounce to it. This one just has more.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's the roughest B&M wing coaster I've done. Yeah. I really do think that there are rougher ones out there.
Yeah, it's not bad. The thing is, the difference is this is brand new, and like, I do wish it ran a little bit smoother, but I came in with the expectation that it was going to be different. Like, you just have to accept now, like, as enthusiasts, that like B&Ms run a little different now. Things are expensive, and clearly they're trying to cut some costs to make them more affordable so we can have them at all. So if the sacrifice for that is that they're going to be a little less glassy than they used to be, so be it. I'd rather that than not having them at all. So
you absolutely should still come out and do it. It is a lot of fun. I really do enjoy it, and it is a nice addition to this park.
Yeah.
I would say in terms of intensity, I would say it is not as intense as a ride like maybe Dominator or Flight of Fear. But I would say, like, in terms of the variation of elements and everything, I think it probably is the number 3 in the park for me after Pantherian and Twisted Timbers.
The wing coasters are more of like a glidey feeling versus like if you were to do like an Intamin multi-launch or something, that's more like rip your face off intense,
yeah.
You know?
I want a new launch coaster, in particular where Anaconda is. Excuse me, sir. Hey.
Sorry, is this,
what's going on? Oh my gosh.
Is this Flat Ride Studios?
It is Flat Ride Studios.
Rebranding.
Clint Novak, how was your ride on Rapterra?
It was amazing. It was amazing. You guys want a Flat Ride Studio question for the day? How many? You guys are already asked, but your viewers don't know this. How many flat rides are in Jungle X?
1.
1. And how many roller coasters? Coaster Studios?
Is it 5 or 6?
6.
Yeah. Oh, that's
6.
crazy.
We need more flat rides, guys.
Wow.
I know that's
Maybe
an unpopular opinion.
Maybe you should be Flat Ride Studios.
I am Flat Ride Studios. That's
Yay!
it. A co-branch of Coaster Studios. I am now the chairperson of Flat Ride Studios. I just did it.
I
myself.
like that.
There we go.
What is that called? Like you're creating a chain.
It's a
little spin-off channel.
yeah, spin-off.
Yeah, there we go.
spin-off.
Tyler, that was your first time on Rapterra. What'd you think?
You know what? It's pretty good. You know, there's a lot of mixed reviews coming out there, especially like right around before the time of opening, that it might not be that good, might be a little bit rough. It's really not. It's a ton of fun. It's going to be a great fit for the park. You can already tell getting off of it. You're hearing so many positive things. And I think that says a lot. I mean, it's replacing what was the most popular ride in the park by far. It wasn't even close. Volcano was the ride that everyone talked about when it came to King's Dominion. It takes a lot to live up to that, and I honestly think that over time, it's gonna fill the gap pretty nicely.
Moving past Rapterra over here at Chicken Shack, this is one of the buildings that did receive a refresh for the 2025 season. So they've given it the same exterior style as what you see with the other buildings, as well as a similar sign, but pretty similar menu, but overall, nice improvement. All of the fencing now matches this similar style, as well as the trash cans here to blend in with the rest of Jungle X-Pedition.
So the area we're standing in right now has Flight of Fear and what is now Pantherian, originally I-305. We'll talk about that one in a minute. But so this has been like a weird kind of part of Jungle X technically, but more of like a weird mishmash of stuff. Like you had Dale Earnhardt and aliens. So it was like, how does that fit in? And we still have Backlot over there, which doesn't fit in at all. But so to kind of bring everything together, they've changed the outside of the Flight of Fear building to have it match like the color scheme and the vibe of the rest of Jungle X. So they added a couple of theming pieces outside, including the new sign, which has the Way Foundation written on it, which is the overarching like theme throughout Jungle X is that all the exploration is being done by the Way Foundation. And they also added a truck outside, which matches with the one that they have over there in the rest of Jungle X. It was actually part of the Get Wild show, which they aren't doing anymore. But it works over here as a nice theming piece. But we're gonna go in and check out to see what the theming looks like on the inside. Well, it's exactly the same. I don't think they changed anything in here. Maybe if they tear down this wall, they could put some cool like tree theming, like kind of make it look like E.T. or something at Universal. But right now, it's just regular old Flight of Fear.
So this was a bit of a bummer. Right before pass holder preview started, King's Dominion made the official announcement that Pantherian, the retheme of Intimidator 305, also Project 305, would not be opening until summer. Clearly the refurb is taking a lot longer than they expected, which is interesting because we can actually look over and see that the repaint looks completely done. They've overall updated the design to the photo finish building. You can see some tarps over the queue, the new Pantherian sign that matches everything else from Jungle X. They've also done some design changes to the train. What used to be the like car hood is now gonna look like a Jaguar front where like the headlights are now the eyes. So that should be pretty cool to see, and I look forward to riding it later this summer. We got another ride removal that we gotta talk about. This is the biggest one yet. Anaconda, the aerodynamics custom looper, is gone. Unfortunately, this was another one that we never got an official announcement for prior to its closure. We showed up here on opening weekend, and you would not believe that there was a roller coaster here. They actually did a super slick job, like covering it up. All the fencing, the landscaping, they filled Lake Charles back in. It looks like there was never a roller coaster here, and that's kind of wild because it is a big plot of land. I imagine that this is going to sit vacant for a while. I don't foresee them filling it in anytime soon. I think, truthfully, they'll probably fill in some of the other areas of the park sooner, but hopefully one day we get something cool here.
Just a sitting here on my toadstool. Ribbit. I like to tinkle on an old piano. I like to play it in a subtle manner. He likes to tinkle on an old piano. He likes to play it in a subtle manner. He knows he'll always be the top banana with a handful of keys. Let me live in candy apple grove. And now that I'm here, I'll never grow old. Let me ride on Rapterra. Any funnel cake. The Eiffel Tower is my favorite. It's my favorite. 'Cause it's fun for the summer. I'm fun to King's Dominion.
I mean, you know, my grandpappy always says, hey, Lenny's mustache needs a trim.
Oh, yeah, it's looking a little sporadic. Ba-do, ba-ba-do, ba-ba-do, ba-ba-do. We ain't got a barrel of money. Yes, and maybe we're ragged and funny, but we'll travel along and we'll be singing a song, 'cause we're side by side.
Well, that was glorious.
What you just heard was a brand new set list for the Singing Mushrooms here in Candy Apple Grove. They completely redid it.
It sounds so good, don't they?
I know, no more Shockwave, no more Hurler, no more Planet Snoopy, but it's still just as good.
Rapterra, though. They did
Yeah,
mention
Rapterra.
Rapterra.
I was impressed. They tailored the Take Me Out to the Ball game, but for King's Dominion, they did some classic barbershop quartet songs. That was a lot of fun. I'm really impressed. Like, that is dedication, right? That they're like, we're gonna update a playlist that was originally created for the 40th anniversary, but now it's for the 50th.
Well, that's the thing, is I like when parks will update things that, like, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't really gain them anything. It's just, like, because they should, you know? Like, it's not like anything that's gonna make them money. People aren't gonna spend their money to see the mushrooms. Well, maybe someone.
I'll spend my money to see the mushrooms.
Okay, well, that's the thing, is, like, it's not a new ride, it's not anything, like, it's just, like, a small little detail that you would only know if you come here a lot, and it's for them, and I love that.
They updated the frog's voice too. It's different.
Sounds good.
But the mushrooms sound more or less the same. I wonder how that works. They just hit up 4 dudes and they're like, hey, we need you to come back for the mushrooms. They're like, oh yeah, the mushrooms.
Yeah.
And the Singing Mushrooms are not the only form of updated entertainment for 2025. They actually also brought back the Clown Band, which are wandering the pathways, performing music. But today, we have not seen them out and about. But at some point during this season, I'm sure you'll see them wandering around, and they're a lot of fun. That was something they also brought back for the 40th, and then they disappeared a few years ago.
So behind me is the first of 2 attractions over here in Candy Apple Grove that are permanently closed. Now, the Sky Coaster over here is a very interesting one because it is listed on the app as open, but it is not going to operate at all this year. Now, this is something we've seen kind of across the new Mega Six Flags chain. Like, we were just at Over Georgia recently. They closed theirs. Still standing, just like the one behind me, but it's not going to operate this year. So I expect probably by next season we won't see it anymore, but it frees up a decent spot. You know, maybe they do something there in the future. We'll see.
They've added a couple of these boards around the park, which typically display electronic wait times. Right now it's just showing the normal time, so clearly it's not up and running fully. But that is still an excellent addition that we've seen at like Kings Island and Cedar Point. So great that they're finally here at Kings Dominion. Okay, final attraction here in Kings Dominion that we said goodbye to. This is the Go-karts, which is right next to Grizzly on the other side of the Extreme Skyflyer. The reason why this is a big deal is because the Sky Coaster takes up a big plot of land, and so does the Go-karts. So in theory, what you could do is bulldoze both attractions and completely change out this area. Because currently, you enter through a gift shop to get to Grizzly, but what you could do is open up this entire area, and now you have a completely new plaza for Grizzly that's a lot better. You could put a ton of attractions here if you really wanted to. A good sized coaster, because remember, you also have the plot of land that's left over from Dinosaurs Alive. So there's a lot of space here to work with. So I like to think in the next couple of years, they'll be taking a look at this plot of land. But we'll have to wait and see. Right now, I think the loss of both of these attractions is actually a good thing. They're upcharges, require a lot of staff, probably not super popular. So that does it for our day here at Kings Dominion, showing off the biggest changes for the 2025 season. We tried to cover as much as possible. There were a few things we missed. The biggest one is the Eiffel Tower, after years of sitting dormant, has finally reopened. At least it's supposed to.
It's not for us.
It didn't for us, which is why we didn't film it, because we kept waiting for it to open. They sent several test runs of the elevator up to the top, but
I said it was too windy, I guess?
yeah, they never quite got there, so we'll have to catch the Eiffel Tower another time. Other minor changes include the return of the blue ice cream, which is great to finally have that back. We've had it over the past couple of years at Kings Island, so it's awesome to see it here.
Good. I really wish we had that today.
Yeah, it's really good. And the Kings Dominion Theater over in Old Virginia is finally having shows again, which is nice because, again, that's another thing that has sat kind of quiet over the past couple of years.
Yeah, so this, I would say, was a successful opening weekend. At least that's how it seems. I know it was busier the other, like yesterday, but it was still like decently crowded and operations were good. Availability of rides was good. Availability of food was good. So overall, I am very satisfied. I had a really good time.
Yeah, I thought this was an awesome opening weekend. You definitely got to come out here to Kings Dominion. Get your rides in on Rapterra. Check out all the big changes for this year. And I'm excited for Kings Dominion's future.
Heck Yeah, me too.
So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.